Catalan Parliament has called on the government to engage in a permanent dialogue within the country and with Spain. This 4 days before the first meeting between the Catalan and Spanish presidents. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. Some pro-independence and unionist parties voted together today in a parliamentary motion over the political conflict between Catalonia and Spain. After months of unprecedented tension between both blocs, this comes as something new. But today's session in Parliament also saw some clashes arise, as we'll show you in a minute. In the show, we also go to Brussels to hear the latest on the rapper Valtonyc, who is seeking refuge from the Spanish judiciary there. And we'll also show you a fascinating discovery dating back to ancient times. Barely a month has passed since the new Catalan and Spanish governments were formed, and it looks like both of them are making efforts to lower the tensions between Catalonia and Spain. Next Monday, both presidents will hold their first meeting in Madrid since they took office, hoping for the beginning of a new and successful dialogue era. Today, there was more evidence of these intentions in the Catalan Parliament as well.
Today's session in the Catalan Parliament saw the passing of a motion in favour of dialogue between Catalonia and Spain. The text received rare cross-party support from the two pro-independence parties in government, as well as a unionist party and another unaligned with either camp. The motion calls on the government to set up a permanent dialogue with Catalan society and with Madrid. This comes only 4 days before the first meeting between the new Catalan and Spanish presidents. With the meeting to take place in Madrid, President Torra has asked his Spanish counterpart Pedro Sánchez for a follow-up meeting in Barcelona in September. An independence referendum will be one of the hot topics next Monday, as well as the situation of the jailed political leaders, said Torra today. Some of the prisoners were transferred to Catalan jails yesterday and received visits from the country's main authorities soon after reaching their new destinations. In fact, this became the reason for a tense debate in the same plenary session today between the leader of the opposition and the president.
Y usted ayer, enfrente de las prisiones, como si fuera no el presidente de la Generalitat, sino el presidente de un CDR, de un comando separatista. ¿No se da cuenta de que es absurdo cuando además usted mismo tiene la gestión y el control de esas presiones?
Allò són presons catalanes, efectivament, però s'aplica la legislació espanyola. I sap que el que volem canviar nosaltres? Aquesta legislació espanyola, aquesta justícia injusta espanyola.
The day went on with more controversy over a motion put forward by the far-left CUP party. The resolution states that the path to independence is ongoing, with part of the unionist opposition trying to prevent a vote on it. In the end, however, the text was passed, along with the other in favour of engaging in dialogue with Spain.
Once again, some of the main news of the day is in Brussels. The rapper Valtonyc, who would be in prison if he was still in Spain, is there and can enjoy freedom within its borders, at least for the time being. The Mallorca-born artist was sentenced to 3 years in jail in Spain for glorification of terrorism over some of his song lyrics. But just before the deadline for him to enter prison, he moved to Belgium. Soon afterwards, the Spanish judiciary issued a European arrest warrant against him. As he explained in a press conference in Brussels today, he handed himself in to Belgian police and the court let him go with precautionary measures while it decides on his extradition case. It was the first time he spoke to the press after having arrived in Belgium.
Perquè jo no he fet res més que cantar. El meu delit és ser d'esquerres, el meu delit és ser comunista, el meu delit és ser independentista i resulta que a Espanya això resulta que no és legal i que per aquestes coses te persegueixen i te fiquen a dins la presó.
A couple of days ago, we told you that Barcelona Airport was getting ready for potential strikes this summer. The local air traffic controllers are threatening to take action to improve their working conditions. But although this strike is possible on the horizon, another one is certain to take place. The Ryanair cabin crew have called a strike for July 25th and 26th. It will affect travellers in Catalonia and throughout Europe. Trade unions representing employees in Spain, Portugal, Italy and Belgium decided to take action in the EU capital today. In all 4 countries, more than 4,000 workers will have to decide whether to support the initiative. Unions claim their work conditions are humiliating as they're only being paid for the hours they fly, and 3 in 4 workers are hired through temping agencies. They also warned this strike might not be the last one.
No descartamos que la huelga se pueda extender a otras fechas si después de este 25-26 no se llega no se consigue lo que se demanda, ¿no? O sea, incluso no descartamos que otros países se unan.
Still related to tourism, today we got some figures on one of the most controversial issues in Barcelona, tourist flats. The Catalan capital's local government has ordered to close down over 4,000 illegal tourist flats in the past 2 years. Around half of them have left the market voluntarily, with around 200 being shut down by the authorities. Some people believe tourist flats contribute to increasing rent prices and demand more social housing from the authorities. That was the case of some demonstrators today who complained about the Catalan government auctioning off some 50 flats instead of using them for social housing. Some tensions arose between protesters and the police, but the auction went on. The authorities have said that around €3 million made in the auction will be used to buy homes for social renting. Now let's travel to the past, thousands of years ago. When the Greeks and Romans first arrived in what is now Catalonia, they found an already existing civilization, the Iberians, who had lived on the land since the 6th century BCE. As part of ongoing research, some archaeologists have found a buried Iberian settlement in central Catalonia. How did they do it? With a ground-penetrating radar that enabled researchers to make maps of this ancient city. The discovery is especially relevant as it is as large as the remains unearthed in Ullastret, northern Catalonia in 2012, the most extensive settlement of this kind ever found in the country. The works to unearth the site will start later on this year. The name Salvador Dalí is probably familiar to you. His surrealist artwork is easily recognizable after all. But what about Gala Dalí? A new exhibition has opened today in Barcelona, shining a light on this key figure in many of the artist's works.
She was his muse and inspiration in many of his works, and now Gala Dalí has an exhibition dedicated to her at the Manac in Barcelona. It opened its doors today and brings together more than 300 documents, drawings, photos and paintings, all related to the wife of the great Catalan surrealist artist Salvador Dalí. The exhibition sheds a new light on Gala, but in doing so also reveals another side of Dalí himself.
O sea, si realmente reivindicando a Gala se reivindica otra parte de Dalí, que yo creo que también es muy interesante porque yo creo que Dalí es un performer él mismo, o sea que ambos son de alguna forma performer, uno pinta y otro no pinta, pero bueno, es igual.
Gala's figure plays a key role in the artwork on display. Her pose is often a dominant force in the work of the late artist, but also in the photographs in which she appears. And as a performer, she influenced the final outcome of a piece, according to the curator.
Y es mucho más que una modelo, ella tiene control sobre su imagen. O sea, alguien que tiene tanto control sobre su imagen no iba a dejar que el marido la pintara como quisiera.
But even though Gala is the protagonist of the exhibition, the talent of Dalí still shines through. He was, after all, one of the greats of his time, a man who seemed to walk a fine line between madness and ingenuity. The work of the eccentric artist still leaves audiences in awe to this day. The Dalí Theatre Museum, in his birthplace of Figueras, attracts over 1 million people every year. Designed by Salvador Dalí, it offers a surrealist insight into his mind and offers visitors a journey into the weird.
That's nearly us for today. To tie up the news of the day, though, we want to leave on a positive note with images of 5 loggerhead turtles being returned to where they should be, the sea. They were accidentally caught by fishermen, but a foundation to recover marine animals took charge of them. The event in Amaya de Mar, southern Catalonia, was a celebration for both adults and children alike. Check it out. Bye for now, and see you tomorrow.